Greetings and welcome back to room 303 in our Chats with Emily, as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are in the Johnson edition. We turn now to the little poem on number 323, As If I Asked a Common Alms. Now, Emily, as gift giver and gift receiver, much has been made of this. She loved letters, she loved sending letters, receiving letters, and she loved to send small gifts often in the letters. Now, this one was published as an Emily letter, the third letter to Higginson of 7 June 1862, ended up in the Atlantic of October 1891. And there's some very interesting exchanges we'll get to in a moment. Our assumptions are that you've been following our stuff at learnstrong.net, down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily, our playlist. I'm hopeful that you've already worked through our set of introductory comments. I'm hopeful that you've already read the preceding 322 poems, because if you place this poem, we just finished with 322, there came a date. If you place this poem within the previous 322 poems, you're going to hear resonances, kind of references back to the whole notion of gift giving, gift receiving. What if I were to ask you for something like $1 and you gave me $1 million? Well, what would that be like? Now, there's been a lot made of some of the exchanges between Emily as it relates specifically to letter writing. This poem, as we said, was part of the third letter, letter 265, to Thomas Higginson, that, as we said, was written on 7 June 1862. Towards the end of the letter, this is what she says, quote, "If I might bring you what I do, not so frequent to trouble you, and ask you if I told it clear, 'twould be control to me. The hand you stretch me in the dark, I put mine in." Then the poem we're about to read, and then the letter ends with this question, "But will you be my preceptor, Mr. Higginson?" Now, this idea of a gift and will you receive what I am giving to you is central, I think, to a whole lot of Emily's project. This is my letter to the world that never wrote to me, of course, one of her most famous poems. This is maybe another poem about the gift of inspiration. Emily will, again, as we said, offer gifts, and she used this poem a second time, letter number 963 of 1885, when she was thanking someone, we don't know who, for a gift. So in other words, she can talk about receiving a gift, and she, of course, wants to give a gift with this poem. She'll use this as if construction, taking us back to poem 24. 56 poems, she does this as if construction. "As if I asked a common alms, and in my wandering hand a stranger pressed a kingdom, and I, bewildered, stand. As if I asked the Orient, had it for me a morn, and it should lift its purple dikes and shatter me with dawn." Now, the comparisons, and obviously the poem is constructed around two different as if comments, right? As if I ask a common alms, that is to say, something maybe meaningful, I ask for something meaningful. And in my wandering hand, notice we go from wandering to shattered, and in my wandering hand, a stranger, that's interesting, pressed a kingdom. In other words, it might be the case that you ask for something little and you get something majestic. Although some have read this as, Emily asked if she could just write a poem, and she was given a kingdom. Maybe her exceptional poetic talent or gift comes to mind. When we get to poem 343, she'll say it this way, "My reward for being was this, my premium, my bliss, an admiralty less, a spectre's penniless, and realms just dross. When thrones accost my hands with me, miss me, I'll unroll thee, dominions dowerless, beside this grace. Election vote, the ballots of eternity will show just that." It is possible that the gift she's referencing here is her capacity to write these amazing poems. She goes now to from wondering to bewildered. "And I, bewildered, stand." Notice the present tense here, like I'm blown away by the gift that I've been given. "As if," to repeat, "I ask the Orient," maybe the unusual, the unknown, "had it for me a morn." In other words, all I asked for was just a few hours of the morning. "And it should lift its purple dikes," only used one time in all of our poetry there, "and shatter me with dawn." Now, she'll use shatter two times more in poem 497 and 966. When she does it in poem 497, she'll say it this way, "He strained my faith, did he find it supple? Shook my strong trust, did it then yield? Hurled my belief, but did he shatter it? Racked with suspense, not a nerve failed. Wrung me with anguish, but I never doubted him, though for what wrong he did never say. Stabbed while I sued his sweet forgiveness. Jesus, it's your little John. Don't you know me? This idea of shattering, I think, is powerful, but notice shattered with dawn. So in other words, in this case, morning is, okay, but dawn is just, like mind-blowing for her. What is she actually saying in this poem? I think her argument is that inspiration is precious, and it is an unexpected gift, and when you receive it as an artist, as a creative person, you got to enjoy it. At 2b, the as-if construction, I think, matters in this poem, and as I said, 56 poems she uses it. At 3, I want us to think a little about Shelley's defense of poetry. Think about the way in which he makes this same kind of argument, that the poet receives something that's, what does he call it, potable gold? We've given full lectures at learnstrong.net. It's quite a remarkable idea that this inspiration that artists get, they're always blown away by the fact that they don't exactly know how it happened. Some hard work, obviously. Finally, at 3b, what was a time when you got even more an amazing gift than what you asked for? Maybe you asked for $1 and somebody gave you $100 kind of thing. Thank you.